Okay. Gonna do a quick test. Looks good. Got the notification early today. Wahoo! Indeed. All right. Let's get rolling. Got everybody we need. Don't really remember everything I was doing, but it's only February, so I got time to figure it out. Did I roll responsibilities? Head of youth development. Looks good to me. Transfers. Training. Okay, yeah, I took care of all of it. We chose a tactic. Right. CK. Looks like ick. Not what I wrote. Hi, Wayne. How the new chat gives me rules before I post, but I'm a mod. It's like, fuck you, chat. I make the rules. uh, nice UI, Bexos. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think that stuff's default. That might be something I can actually control. I've never bothered to look. I might be able to get rid of that for certain positions, but I don't know. It's on default, which just means everybody sees it. It's hilarious. Cool, cool. Well, at least you get get a small reminder every time what to enforce. I suppose not that you've ever really had to do much of that. I only care about bots. That's all I care about. Let's discuss personal matters. I left him out of the Europa Conference League squad, probably because I don't have enough friggin' spaces to register him. Is it this guy? Oops. I've got all my views on the wrong thing. Damn it. Oh, no, no, no. That one. This one. Should be good now. Okay. Now, this guy wants to know why I didn't register him. Well, because I don't have enough places. Of course, he's unhappy now. He's all like, wah, 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 you didn't make me important enough. Typical. You finished Cyberpunk. Oh, was it a good ending, at least? I actually don't know how it ends. I don't want to know how it ends. Just tell me if it was good. I asked one other person if Cyberpunk had a good ending, and all he said was, "It's an ending." I'm like, that doesn't encourage a lot of hope. Makes it sound like it was only a okay ending or a meh ending. And you don't want to play a whole game just to get that. Endings are the hardest, though, to be fair, of any story. Like I need to tell you that. Okay, got that update done. Didn't know I had an update till it popped up after I started. God wanted fresh start for captaincy. This is going to be funny. Only ending you are going to get at the beginning is likely the bad ending. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I can dig what you're saying. Oh, you can. Okay, so it has multiple various different endings. That's good. I'm sure that they'll be like. I can't imagine how drastically different they'd be from one another, though. No one does well. Suppose you're right. It's cyberpunk. Nobody's supposed to do well. That's that's awesome. Is it like on Family Guy when Cleveland's family is playing the game of life for black people? It's like it's the game of life for black people. You never really win. You just try to do a little better each time. It's like, oh man, that is a. I thought that was a great joke, only because it hits too close to the truth. I guess I had this guy listed for loans, so just want to loan him out. I don't remember what I was doing. It's a big difference. It did two, one where Sokka wins and one where they get super fucked. I wonder how many different endings it has. I'll have to check that out sometime. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing with this team, so I'm going to stop having players for loan for now. Six other endings, so there's like eight. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. It's not exactly. It's not quite Baldur's Gate 3 with like ridiculous amounts of endings, but still, it's good. Did I offer this guy a contract? Is that what they're telling me? I think this guy's just on my short list for some reason. He is. He's on my staff short list. Oh, okay. Oh, there's a that's Phantom Liberty is a DLC or expansion, one of those things. Oh, okay. That's good that they do that. Add extra endings or possibilities to endings. I get to play both games tonight. Hooray! I like when games actually add valuable DLCs to things, stuff that matters, and add something significant. Is my favorite. Thinking more than a Fallout New Vegas. Wow, Fallout New Vegas is a really good game. Yeah, I know how much you like Fallout New Vegas. So that should say something about how good I think it is. Indeed, it does. Indeed, it does. Fallout New Vegas is a pretty amazing game. No doubt about that. I mean, I'm a bit different. I love Fallout New Vegas, but I'm in the school of I like Fallout 4 the best, but only because after all the stuff they added to it, the depth it has, and I really like city building. I know that's not important to a lot of people. I really enjoyed that part of it. Fallout New Vegas is just a straight up great RPG. Awesome. So many ways. Okay, this says I have a new notification for a transfer, but I don't. Herm. Indeed. There's one PL question. Okay, no spoilers. Got it. I mean, I'm not that worried about spoilers because I don't think I'll ever play it, but I might. So, I don't have a good memory anyway. So you just go ahead. Skolnick asked to discuss personal matters. Why did I leave him out of the conversation? They're all going to be mad because I couldn't register them. Annoying. So in PL at one point you get to get a face morpher, a face morpher. Got it. Somebody who morphs their face into other faces. Just the face? They can't morph the rest of themselves? That opens up missions where you pretend you are a Cuban assassin. Okay. I like where this is going so far. Sounds amusing. Everyone is absolutely shit pants scared of this chick. Some super badass, I will assume. Trying to go. Strutter being scary. Cool. Email from the actual assassin congratulating you on your performance. Aha. Okay, we have AGF up first. Who is our backup left back? One of these guys, probably this one. Oh, that's the funnest part. Yeah. And I mean, you probably didn't see it coming too, which I love stuff like that. Things happen that you just couldn't have predicted. Just out of nowhere, you're like, oh, okay. So you can have it for now. This is a friendly. Don't deal with it first. doubt that there's going to be too many things in life that will ever shock me as much as the big reveal in Knights of the Old Republic. That's pretty much like my benchmark for good video game writing. The big reveal. Damn, I got no extra players. Casually? I mean, you'd have to be pretty quick. I don't know how casual an action that is, but that sounds like a really awesome moment in the game for sure. Um, Damn, why do so many guys have numbers? We're gonna have to fix the numbers on this team later. Dude absolutely shits his pants. Can you blame him? Oh, Lingby doesn't play today. Let's see. Okay, well, the games that matter are these ones. AGF wins. Yes. Copenhagen wins. Yes. So Northland gets time off. And you legit play a friendly? Is that the senior team? Why would we want to play a friendly in between games this important? Cancel that friendly. Grunarude with the hat trick. Okay, so those are B team friendlies. That's fine. I heard the achievement set. Oh, look at all the achievements going off over there. Oh, over there, not here. Over there. I'm not sure if you've ever watched. I imagine you've never watched the show Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad for that matter. But there's this one character in it. His name's Mike, and he's this older guy, but he's just like the coolest cucumber ever. You know, like he nothing ever bothers this guy. He's always just very matter of fact, always super relaxed, never really gets, and he's hired for this team of three guys to hire to guard a guy. And anyways, Mike shows up with his bag lunch and he's just standing there and these two other dudes show up. Oh, you've seen every episode? Nice. So you remember the one where where he grabs the gun from the guy and then hits him in the throat with it? That's what I just thought of when you were describing that scene to me. Which was hilarious because also the actor who played the guy that yeah, anyway, you know who he is. You've seen every episode. Well, that makes it really easy. So that when you say he casually grabs the gun, it reminded me that time Mike just goes, takes the gun, and then he hits him in the throat with it and takes the rest of his guns while he's laying on the ground. Oh my god. Uh, uh, but The what's his name? Oh, Stephen Ogg, right? Stephen Ogg plays that guy. Yeah, that episode was brilliant. I think most of it's brilliant. I haven't watched it all yet. Like we're watching it right now. We're on partway through season 4, I think. 5, 5. Partway. Oh, 4. Partway through season 4. Yeah, we're most of the way through season 4. My fave was when Mike defeated the warehouse security with nothing but a bunch of party balloons. Yes. Yes, absolutely. That guy's so great, man. I mean, and I like the actor who plays him, right? Because he's been in so many things, but he's almost always a bad guy. And this is like one of the first times where he's kind of, I mean, he's still kind of a bad guy, but he's more of an anti-hero, like he's in that gray area. Yeah. I think he gets a terrible death. I don't like the way they kill him, but it was also inevitable. But still, yeah, he's like one of my favorite characters in any show ever. I wasn't sure. I said I'm not sure if you would have seen those or not. I don't know. Maybe you just hadn't had time to get to it yet. Because you had lots of other shows. There's quite a few people who haven't necessarily seen them, but like my mom hasn't watched either of them yet, but they're on her list as an example. I mean, so far, I think Better Call Saul is just a little bit better than Breaking Bad. I think Breaking Bad's great, terrific, wonderful, but I'm enjoying Better Call Saul more as of this moment. I know that might be a hot take or an unpopular opinion, but that's my feelings on it. How long do they play? Another week. These guys will be okay in a week. Got plenty of match sharpness, so rotated squad. Too close to call. I mean, I feel similarly, but if I had to pick one, I'd say Better Call Saul is slightly better. It's more as of now at this moment in the show, more engaging. I'm more invested in the main character, being Jimmy Saul. I like him as a character. He's great. He's more interesting than Walter. That's just what I got to say. Is this a friendly game I'm playing right now? Because if it is, I'm silly. And I'm silly. Is there a way to sim out of the game? First season made me laugh at a really inappropriate thing. The first season of Better Call Saul? I mean, I can't think of what that thing might be, but there is plenty of candidates uh, for what it could have been. There's no shortage of inappropriate things in that show. Breaking Bad, the two Mexican cousins, yeah, the assassins were real badasses. Years after the show, one kind of became an overweight, dad. Hard to hide the fact. I haven't noticed it, so they hit it really well from me. I haven't picked up on that. I did notice some characters looking, older. Like Huel looks older than He's like, because in real life he is, but the show's supposed to take place before. So I'm like, ah, all right, like you let it go because it's a show. But they, he was much much older in the prequels. That's not how it's supposed to go. Ah, man. And I think, yeah, I remember you said you watched, oh god, shit, brain crap. Good Omens. You watched Good Omens. You lost weight in later seasons, but the first season, dude, was a lot of. I didn't notice it, so they hit it well for me. I believe you. I just didn't pick up on it. Now, if I go and see it, I'm going to be like, ha ha. But yeah, I mean, it's not his fault. Obviously, people change as they get older. We know this better than most. Good Omens is great, and so you made the connection between Better Call Saul and Good Omens. Did you find the connection there? I'm betting you didn't. Nope, David Tennant is not in Better Call Saul. That would be cool. So you didn't get the connection. It took me a minute. The first time I saw him sitting there, I'm just like, why do I know that actor? Why? And so I had to look it up, and I was like, oh my god, Jimmy's brother Chuck is the Witchfinder, the Scottish guy. It's like, oh my god. Uh, Completely different characters, I tell you. But yeah, that one got me. Took me a bit. Like I think I was 2 episodes in before I was like, okay, I got to look this up because it's bugging me. I know him from somewhere, and I can't. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, right, right. He's the Scottish guy, the Witchfinder in Good Omens. Made me laugh when I got that one because then the whole time I'm watching it, I I, I can't take him seriously, which is fine. Chuck turns out to be a real asshole, right? So, but for fun, I posted that on a Reddit group where I talk about shows and stuff, and a lot of people missed that one. And once you see it, you're just like, whoa, yeah, duh. But you don't think of it right away when you look right at him. I imagine he comes across as one of those actors that's just familiar to a lot of people, but you can't put your finger on why. Then you watch the show long enough, and just that's who he is. He's that character. But the whole time I watched it, every time he went to speak, I was expecting Scottish accent to come out of his mouth. Uh, I know the guy who played Dickie Bennett from Justified was actually Australian, right? I mean, I knew the guy who played the Witchfinder wasn't actually Scottish, but what you'll find really amusing is when I looked him up and I was finding out more about him because like I said, every time he spoke, I was expecting a Scottish accent to come out of his mouth, and it never did. But there was a bit about when he was doing Good Omens, he would go to David Tennant between sets or between takes, and David Tennant would help him with his accent because David Tennant is Scottish, right? So, yeah, apparently he was helping him perfect his accent, and little did he know David Tennant trolls him a lot and made him overdo it and overact it, but then they kept that because it was funny. Go figure, eh? Apparently, David Tennant is a bit of a troll. Who knew? Never would have guessed. He seems like an entertaining person, so why not? Oh, right, this guy's gone now. Guess you'll be on the bench. The hell was that? Is there a ghost in here? Ah, you got it. No, you won't. Just hit the batch combine button. Yeah. So it did it for you. Look how many fewer gems you have now, but they're all going to be higher level. Okay, let's see. This looks good. Yay. Oh, he's still on the bench. Ah, where is he? There he is. There. Favorite joke is still how they mention Beelzebub changed her face because she wanted to try something new so they could cover up that new actress. I thought that was brilliant writing. I thought that was amazing. Like, yeah, they broke the fourth wall in the funniest possible way and just made it smooth sailing. Like, not many shows can do that. You have to have appreciated probably sitting in the room with these writers. They're just like, oh, how are we going to do this? And they're like, well, let's address the elephant in the room head on. Like, I think it's the best possible thing that they could have done with that. I appreciate them for what they did with that a lot. Okay, this is Benfica. Do this with a lead. Kaiser's gonna sit out this game. Mr. Fredrickson goes on the bench. We need to play Tarrington. Today is not the day to be rotating that much. However, I rotate him in. And let's not get too nuts here. Don't want to have too much rotating in important games. B1. Copenhagen got a draw, but that means that they win overall. It's like how Solar Opposites had to replace Justin Roiland. So instead of a voice actor to match, they used a British guy instead and claimed he had throat damage. I haven't seen that yet. Oh, was that what they did? That's epic. Did you hear that, Joanne? Justin Roiland is gone, as you know, from Solar Opposites and Rick and Morty. So instead of getting an actor that sounds like him, they just got a British guy and they just claim he has throat damage now. That's a great way to do that. Make it extra comical. uh, that's wonderful. So that means you've watched New Solar Opposites. It's still good, even without Justin Roiland. Obviously, one voice actor doesn't make a show, but yeah, they wonder how they're going to address the Rick and Morty aspect of that. That one's going to be a bit tougher, I think, anyway. 'Cause that show has a slightly different set of expectations from its viewer base. I disagree. Sliding hard. Get out of here. I still love that show. I don't care. Haters gonna hate. Potatoes gonna potate. Oh, I don't even have to worry about Champions League till way over here. Okay, we're good. Dan Harmon's best when he gets 4 seasons. How many seasons did Harmon Quest run? Is it still running? I mean, that show is like it was pretty entertaining for the first couple seasons, but then I'm just like, this is really bad D&D. Like, you don't even see the dice rolls. So you just know there's some cheating going on there. Pre-planned bullshit. That's not D&D, damn it. Oh my god, this is too many games in a week. Yeah, well, I didn't mind the DM on Harmon Quest. He was all right. He was, I mean, he was your typical guy you would think. I mean, but they wanted that. They wanted a stereotypical guy, but he was okay. He could have been a little bit more emotive, engaging, charismatic, etc. But he wasn't awful, not even close. Definitely had way worse GMs than him. Oh, really? I don't know anything about that particular individual. What is it about them that makes it bad? They're just too rule sticklers, or they're too serious, or what is it? I think you know DMs that are kind of loose with the rules and go with the flow and can make shit up as they go. And like there's on Reddit, there's a group of for D&D, and like some people post like epic things that happen in their D&D quest, but a lot of them like posting moments when like their game gets ruined. And I'm like, one player shouldn't be able to ruin your whole campaign. If you're a good DM, you'll just be able to roll with it, make something up as you go, or just be like, "No, I'm God. I don't need an explanation. This is what's happening." You know, it doesn't have to be complicated, people. But I'm curious what you think makes a bad DM. I'll probably agree. I mean, that's one of those things. Usually, pacing is all over the place. Huh? A lot of that's because they use D&D, but still, game should run under 4 hours, start to finish. Oh, you mean a session or a whole game? A session. You should be able to tell your single issue story in that time. Okay. I mean, when I played D&D, we had one DM that was capable of going longer for us, which I liked. I see what you're saying though, like pacing can be a problem. But we liked playing 8 hours, 10 hours a couple of times. We liked that. Of course, for the DM, I also respect that the DM might get effing exhausted and not want to do that. So I mean, I don't expect it, but he did it quite a few times for us, and it was pretty cool of him. So yeah, I know what you mean. Being able to put things into a certain time area. Like that's amazing. Session should be and that session should be a full story arc. Fair enough. You don't use cliffhangers ever? Ever? You don't have a tune in next time moment? Kind of hard to avoid ever not using cliffhanger stuff. No, you never use cliffhangers? Okay, cool. Cool. I understand it and I get it. Yep. If it's good enough, people will already be hooked even without bloody cliffhangers. Cliffhangers are a stupid writing device anyways. Drive me nuts and they cause anxiety. To me, especially. Like, oh my god, watching The Walking Dead after the Negan season just I'll never do that to myself again. Now I don't even watch shows until they're like done. See, you're not even playing and you're getting achievements. Come on, Lingby. Seriously? That's fantastic. Actually, a lot of comic books I used to read, there was some that did the cliffhanger crap to keep you buying the next issue. I know they're not supposed to do that, but I had a bunch that did it. And those were the ones that I didn't buy. It didn't work. It's pissed me off, so I didn't buy them. Yeah, I want everyone to be a complete story, like you say. I get it if they tell you ahead of a time that a certain number of comics are going to be, like a mini series or a series of some type. That's fine, but you should do those separately from the main comic campaign, so to speak. Okay, we are bad over here. Tell me that counts. It does. Finally, we break through. Too many plot points. Like again, surely we have maybe four main story plot points. So true, and then you kind of just, flesh it out from there with smaller details that connect directly to it. That is the best way to go about it. If you get too many things involved, there's too many things that can be derailed, and you don't want that. You don't want because then you end up having to make shit up on the spot, which is never a bad thing. But if you have to do it too much, you start fraying your storyline, and it just seems like a shambled together piece of crap, and nobody wants that. I appreciate when a person can make something up on the spot because something didn't go exactly the way they planned. Because no campaign can go the way DM plans unless you're like super Nazi-esque about it. And then it's like, well, then why are we even playing? Why don't you just tell us the story and we'll sit here and do nothing? I had a TM like that, and that was my response. Yeah. If you're not going to let us actually play, why don't you just tell us the story? We'll twiddle our thumbs and drink pop all night. Got mad at me for that. I've never enjoyed that kind of thing. So penalty awarded. Angelo. Let's go, Angelo. All right. Totally. Totally. Yeah. Sometimes people come up with good suggestions, and if you can implement them in a way that makes everything run smoothly, why not? Why not just use other people's ideas? I like that. Because then it also makes them feel like they're part of the plot, part of the story. Totally, 100%. How do you feel about homebrew stuff, though? Are you for it or against it? I understand, like, some people come up with really stupid shit, and you just gotta say no. That's not what I mean, though. I don't mean, like, the ridiculous stuff. I mean just for or against homebrew. I know it's tough to be, like, so black and white about that one because it really does come down to what it is they're asking to include. But yeah, I'm not talking about saying no to unreasonable stuff. That is not what I mean. That is not being against it. That's just being for a good story that isn't as dumb as possible. Really matters game balance is a sham. A good GM can work around anything. I like homebrew stuff, just, to add texture, quality, different things. It can't all be about what's in the books and nothing else. That's not the kind of universe that I want to play in or live in or game in. Should be flexible. Should, more things should be possible than what's in a book. However, somebody comes to me and they want to homebrew some spell that just is ridiculously OP in their favor. I'm going to be like, no, hell no. Just as an example. But some items are pretty neat. It's like, oh, I want an item that does this thing, and you're like, yeah, I could see how that would suit your character and be helpful and something that we could use as a device around the plot. There are moments like those. Copenhagen got a draw. Damn. For systems that are so simple that you can do anything you want. GURPS. Yep. 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 The only game I got pushback on were ones where I hit the point of the game so it would be a surprise. Really? Why? Oh, impatience? I mean, I'm not sure why that would get pushback. Can't please everybody all the time. This we know. Man, I miss playing D&D though. So much. It has been a very long time. Famously, they told me once they didn't want to play a bunch of Deep South deputies investigating crimes in a podunk Mississippi town. Oh, okay. Nobody's forcing them, right? Wow, though, that's is that what the whole campaign was about? Just of course, that I didn't tell them is that the crimes were all supernatural, and at the end, they would discover that There's an Aztec pyramid under the town containing a god. Yep, that's just impatience. That was what I suspected. Oh, thank you. I was thinking about when I was going to get away and grab one. Ah, I am a foolish fool. Sat down without grabbing a drink. Fool. I think I have any defenders. This guy, but he's super tired. So, raid out player it is. But if you have a game a hook like that, you can't tell them. It just ruins it. Of course. Of course. But what you can do is just be like, look, guys, be patient. All right. It's going somewhere. Got a point. But when you have impatient players, you have impatient players. Not a lot you can do with that. Let's be honest. At this point, I'm going to have a hard time keeping track of almost everybody on these teams. Not going to want to do this for more than a couple of seasons, that's for sure. Really wanted to run that game. It's good to have a serial killer kit. So write it again and get better players. It's people that are willing to be patient. That's the thing. And sometimes you got to write a story for yourself, just to see how people play it, react to it, that kind of thing. Hell, I got a terrible memory. I'll sign up. I'll definitely be able to forget what's going to happen. uh, Not going to get better players in your group. I mean, they complained. How good a group are they? Did they quit the game too? Like, I don't understand. You're not going to get better players. Why is that? Is it because they're the best players in the universe, or there just are no better players? There's only once you forget. Well, I mean, fair enough. I will be back in just a moment. Well, I know that your group could have still been improved because I wasn't in it. I know I'm hilarious. I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. It was only okay. No new reply. There's 6 people lurking though. 6 people. See who it is. Aha! Now I know. Oh, Jacob will be on soon, and then I get to switch games from this to our other one. But if you ever run another campaign and it's not in person, I mean, obviously I prefer in person, but if you ever do one online, let me know. I will definitely sign up for it. I enjoy a good indie session. I don't know if you've ever run one online. Have you ever run one online? I know I never have, so cool. Post surgery sounds good. Yeah, once you get recovered, you start feeling better and sharper. Makes sense to me. A good goal to have right there. A round of 16 knockout. Let's see who we get. I got Inter Milan. Okay, not too bad. It's not the worst. Let's see. AGF got Sevilla. Not bad. Not bad. We both got decent draws strength wise. I actually feel okay about this. Like we could have a chance at those ones. Let's see. Yeah, AGF finished 10th, just outside of the top 8 places. I finally had a perfect one. So let's see where Sevilla was up here. So that's a tough team, but I think they got a good chance there. I got Inter Milan. Who's Inter Milan? AC Milan. Well, here they are, right here. Yeah. Okay. I feel confident ish. Mostly, sort of, kind of. Always nervous about this kind of stuff, but one of the multitude of space horror games. I mean, anything's good. I'm pretty much not a picky person when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm one of the easier people to have in a tabletop RPG game because everything is fun to me and not much bothers me. I've never had a DM not be like, man, I wish I had more players like you. Every time I'm like, sorry, you don't. And I can always come up with ideas when asked, but I never give them unless I'm asked. I only had one DM, I guess, who was like, if you have ideas, please bring them to me. So I did. He enjoyed some of them, not all of them. But that's to be expected. We were very different people. We picked up Death in Space, those dark places. I have a mothership coming in December. Huh. But is that the kind of thing you do online? Like, do you run your game online? Always in person. Traveler online until the confusion got too bad. Understood. Yeah, if you don't feel sharp, you're not going to be able to DM, especially for like actual nerds. You'll get chewed up and spit out. No, it's not really so much that as you'll overwhelm yourself. I'm sure that's the case. That you had to medium match loads. Oh, I have to do rotation squad here. Will I regret this? Well, let's find out. 4 games? Okay. Not bad. Do you kind of sort of remember where you were though if you ever had to pick it up again? Or are you just gonna start from scratch? Probably better to start from scratch after this length of time. Space 4, 7. A different central defender. And that was a left back? Yes, it was. It was a left back. Backup. 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 So this is team 2 now. Bowls are still pretty full. No crunchies and bowls aren't squeaky clean. They're working on it. Yeah, I hear them too. Those 4 games were some of my finest work actually, and I have ideas for campaigns. Islands in the Dark. Oh man. Now I'm gonna get Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers stuck in my head. Random, I know. uh, I got remote probably in 4 days, but they need to get. This is a good time to rotate this team as well. Team 2 for them? I do. Get me be set and ready. Almost like I knew what I was doing. Ever think it'd be best to stick with our keeper? The hopefully they don't lose too bad, but if they do, it's okay for them to here. They're far enough ahead that they're comfortable. Uh, Super League. Oh my gosh, that's why there's so many games because we have other cups to play. All right, what's happening with this cup? Rammed in there. So, thus, Islands in the Dark. Okay. So instead of Star Trek, Destiny of Worlds, humanity lives in little clusters of stars super far from each other. Oh, Islands in the Dark. Indeed. Indeed. But you still got Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers stuck in my head, so boo. uh, okay, these guys can't afford to rotate in the league. To focus on the league and catch up, I'll have to rotate in cups for them. Torkeldsen got hurt? Really? I don't remember getting the notification, but it's life. What just happened here? Okay. Sevilla, 4 days. Home match now. Most of these, nobody's on heavy match loads. It doesn't mean that we're going to be fighting them. Strandberg. Chance to put Casper Peterson on. You know what? No. I'm going to play Casper Peterson. It's the point in having a good young prospect like this if you don't actually use him. He's already played once. So these players are traders on the long trip between the islands, encountering the horrors that live in between. This is a really good idea. That's a really decent idea for a campaign. I can already see how that could go well and horribly, but in the most magnificent way. Yep, I like it. Hendrik Slav. Yes. Uh, there's Bruin. Zertmer for Norheim. So I want Tarrington to play. This is where Herslov keeps getting like sloughed off to the side. Have to play him in central midfield. All right, these guys might drop points as well, but I hope not. But yeah, it is time to rotate. That should have been a goal. Hi, cat. I heard you eating your food. That means it's time to feed crunchies. Is that what that means? I've got a minute. This game is playing. There's not a lot I can do in the first half, so I'm going to go inspect. Nope. Way too much food still in that bowl. Hey, all right. Hopefully that counts. It does. And now we have a lead. I love when my wingbacks score. It's very, very satisfying. Did I date my set pieces? Yes, I did. Good. Good. Fantastic. 2-0 lead. Sager's got a goal. Good for him. Don't let your performance levels drop. I knew one of them was going to do this. There, good. Sometimes they don't recover from that, but he did. Gamba! Set piece corner goal. Time to praise these guys. Okay, time for substitutions. Is it? No, it's already backups, so let's play a little bit later and get the maximum minutes and put in some of these because everybody I'm going to bring in off the bench is going to be a young prospect as well. I want to start conceding goals. I mean, they could score 3 quick ones if I put backups to the backups in too early. I'll either wait for 75 minutes or another goal for our side. 75 minutes. Plus, I also get to see who's actually more tired. Crow. Lemaitre. You're not playing enough. I declare. For long, just to keep those guys happy. And Kovac. Oh, and we scored just as I make the substitutes. So I was like, oh, which one's going to come first? Us scoring or 75 minutes? Well, they came in at roughly the same time. But Kotsia, what that pass was amazing. Please count. That doesn't count. Man, I think that might have been his first career goal if it had counted. We got robbed on that play. Oh, no one's on a hat trick. Take my penalty, Kakotsia. You know what? No. That kid deserved a goal. He worked really hard for it. Let's give him a chance. Let's give him a chance to get a goal. Yay! Was it his first career goal? No, it's his second goal. All right, so he has scored once before, but still, that should boost his confidence some. Don't you? Oh, I was going to be like, don't give up the clean sheet. And we did. Assholes! Just have to give up the clean sheet every fucking time. Stupid. AGF got a draw, so now I'm only 7 points behind them. Copenhagen, another draw. Midtjylland, Nordsjælland with a draw. So many drawers. Copenhagen got a draw, and that's in spite of playing their best 11. Going to take them some time, I think, to adjust to their new tactics. They can still make European competition if I can get them to win the bottom half of the league. It splits. I mean, I was hoping I would have time to get them into the top six, but oh no, they're only a point off. Okay, no, it's still possible. Never mind. I thought they were much further behind than that. Mixed start at QPR after a few games. Oh dear. Not ideal. Not supposed to have a mixed start. You're supposed to go for a good start. I don't know if you got that memo. Just kidding. First game away, 3-1 Blackburn. That's good. It's really good. This guy needs to. Lucky 1-1 draw, 3-3 draw, 4-3. I mean, it's not a lot of games. It's a small sample size. Got to give them a little bit of time to adjust to tactics and things, right? It's only reasonable. An eighth? Okay. That's not the worst. Two games in 3 days coming up. Well, good luck. Getting enough training. Putting some defense. Michael Nielsen. All right. Just to play more. Have a look. Yes, he does. Pointless after 3 games. Well, you kind of probably knew that they were going to miss you. Sure that you do that. 650 to 1. Yeah. So basically, it's an impossibility. But you know that we hate your weather. You hate your weather. You hate weather in Australia? I mean, yeah, there's a reason that people didn't want to settle there. uh, yeah, no, I mean, there's a reason that nobody immigrated there willingly. That's the whole colony is based off of people that were sent there as prisoners. You know that. I know you know that. Yeah, because they showed up there. They looked around and like, God, the weather here sucks. There's 20 million things that could kill you in your sleep. Yeah, no, let's not live here. Let's just send our prisoners here. You know that's how that went down, right? We're just going to send people we don't like here. So I mean, while you're living there, you just got to keep that in mind. It's like, yeah, this is the place nobody else wanted to willingly come to. Yeah, you understand why they did it? Hell yeah, you do. Almost everybody who lives there knows. I mean, it's beautiful there. It is like there's a lot to see, and clearly there's a lot of positives, but I mean, maybe not enough to outweigh the negatives these days, especially with the economy. As I understand that, but that's a worldwide problem. So you know that out of control housing crisis you were having? Yeah, it's everywhere now. Bipolar weather. Yeah, that's pretty much the most accurate way to put it. No, it's not just you anymore. No, no, it's the world. The entire world is going that direction. Yeah, it's at the point now where Canada is doing it. You basically just cannot afford to buy a house if you don't already own one. It's so much worse than it was. The only people here who could buy houses are investors. Just like what happened to Australia. Only investors could afford to buy houses and they jack up the rents super high. Live with your parents. Well, I mean, not everyone has that option, but yes, I do understand it. It's more and more normal these days for people to. I mean, you think about it in old cultures, children didn't depart from their family home until like they had a spouse and children. Often they would even have a spouse living with them in their family home. It's only really like North America and a few other places in recent times where it's like, wow, you turn 18, you got to get out, otherwise you're not a responsible adult. It's like that's just not true. You know, living at home just makes sense. Welcome to Australia. Do you have a criminal record? Oh, that's still a requirement. No, no, it's more like whenever I meet somebody from Australia, be like, oh yeah, Australia, cool. What did your ancestors do? Because there's always a story. Always. I think most people know what ancestor got sent there for what in their family timelines. Lucky my mom got my dad's Navy pension and he died so she could afford the mortgage and renting a place close to work. Yeah, there you go. Sometimes things work out even when it's not in the way that you want it to. That's a negative way to get a positive thing, but it's better than nothing. All right. One of the few players that is eligible for this damn game is hurt. Stole my house from a bank. Almost literally. Well, quite literally, if you really get down to it. But yep, that's a good tactic as well. But again, not necessarily available to everyone. Copenhagen, let's get their shit together. So, what is this? This is a local cup. Also, Braintree have the board attention for what they want. Stadium. So, Drophead, do you know what your ancestor did to get sent to Australia? Or is that too far back now? I mean, I know the further ahead we go, the more that people don't actually know what ancestor did what to get sent to Australia. But when I was younger, when I met people from there, some of them knew. Quite a few of them actually knew exactly which ancestor did what. Not currently, a little too far back. But currently, like, yeah, I mean that's just it. Eventually, people just forget. There are some fascinating stories. So if you happen to know, I would have loved to have heard. But if you don't know, you don't know. What's up, Jacob? Good. Currently, the only Jacob here for a short amount of time. The other one is apparently on his way. And then we'll change games from this one to the other one. I like that I get to do a little bit of both today. It's a-okay with me. I don't have a backup left back. What? What's going on? This team doesn't have a backup left back? Are we sure? Wild planner. What the hell? Oh, this guy is on loan. I think I might have fucked up, you guys. Uh, Gunder's Latch, Andrew Jensen. I'm sure that I. Let's go look at them, I guess. Gunder's Latch and Jensen. Oh, that's not giving me a lot of confidence. Well, it's my own dumb fault, so I'll go with the youngest of them. It's Casper Jensen. Oh, it's the youngest one. Wait, does he actually play defender left? No, he doesn't. So I guess it's this Tristan Andrew person. Yeah, he can play defender left. All right. I messed this team up just a little bit. I kind of rushed when I was putting it together, so say no, I said Tristan Andrew. Oh no, Marcus Jensen. Yeah, no. That's good. That's good. That's good. Right, we have to include the B team in order. 14. Go ahead and include him. Stingy. Full team one. Then I'm going to slide you. All right. Sorry, I had to reset the whole thing. Banished to Canada. Getting destroyed in War Thunder. What's War Thunder? I don't know what War Thunder is. Sorry, guys. I'm not down with the new games, I guess. Is War Thunder a PvP game? That's probably why I don't know it. PUBG. Oh, so PvP. Yeah, I don't play PvP games, man. Sorry. Not my jam. But for tanks and planes, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I don't play PvP. I gave that shit up years ago because I play video games for fun. And people who play PvP most of the time forget that. Sadly. So let's do something I didn't do. Included. Oh, Marcus Jensen, I put him here. Supposed to go there. I guess not though. So I suppose I will be putting interest in Andrew then. All right, let's just get that done. How bad is it? Oh, not too bad. It's going to be okay, I think. All right, then right defender, and I have a backup for that. Huzzah. Um, a backup striker on the bench. Wow, I've got way too many of certain positions. I have plenty of attackers on this team. Of that, I can be certain. All right, so I believe this is team 2. Well, no, I suppose actually this goalkeeper. All right, so 2. There we go. I now have a team 2 for this bunch. They're probably going to get destroyed. Oh well. At least I can save quite a few of my starters for the more important games coming up. No comms unless you're in a squad. Yeah, but they always find ways to annoy me, even if there's no comms. Trust me. I just like I said, PvP is just not my thing anymore. I leave it alone. As soon as I see PvP, I'm like, nope. Move on to the next game. There are so many things I would rather do with my time than play PvP. Yep. Take a bath in acid. I'm exaggerating just a little, but not a lot. That's the funny part. How about something like World of Warcraft, which can be both? Uh, okay, that's a bad example because World of Warcraft, I tried to play, but it was long, long time ago, and nobody I knew was into it, so I didn't even get to play the co-op parts. Because back then it was like super snobby assholes. So you're basically just summing up the exact same thing about PvP that I don't like. Nobody would let me join their guild because I was new. Like, we don't want a new player. And I'm like, cool, see ya. And none of my friends were into it. So yeah, that was my experience with World of Warcraft. Very brief. I played it for a couple of months, met the odd person here and there, but never really stuck with a group. But for co-op games, I mean, I watch my streams enough to know that I play lots of co-op games, tons of co-op games. And if PvP is completely 100% optional and never required, I'm okay with them. Yeah, there are some games I've played. Like I played I don't know, Fallout 76 for a while with people, and that has PvP. It's optional. You never have to do it, so I just didn't. I don't know, a bunch of months back. I don't know if you were here for it or not, but somebody started getting on my grill. They're like, "Oh, you just can't play PvP games." And I was like, "Oh man, no, I used to be one of the best competitive FPS players around." Like, "Oh yeah, you just can't hack it." And I was like, "Okay, you know what? Like, I know you're just trying to razz me and everything, but I'm like, but I'll show you. As long as you make a bet, make it worth my while." I was like, "Okay." And he thought that, he's like, "Oh, you think you're so good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty good at PvP. I mean, or at FPS games. Watched anything I've done. I'm good at FPS." So he's like, "Okay, then you're going to come play this game, and if you can finish in the top 3 in points within the first 10 rounds, I'll buy you one of your games on your wish list." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's do this. I got nothing to lose." He's like, "Well, if you don't, then you got to admit that you just can't hack it anymore." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So he made me install Valorant. Yep. First round, finish first. It's like, cool, I'll take my game now. He's like, "Oh, you still got to play more rounds. You can help us win." I'm like, "Okay." I played 3 more rounds. I was like, "Yeah, see you guys. This is enough for me. I can still do it. I can still cut it. That was never the issue." I'm already sick of that one kid on the other team yelling about what he wants to do to my mother, and then I'm clearly using an aimbot. I'm done with him. World of Warcraft and EverQuest made me hate humanity. Right? Nothing made me feel more lonely than being surrounded by people who didn't want to talk to me. Exactly, dude. Exactly. That was horrible. Elitist bullshit. New Ark Survival Ascended. I mean, I have Ark Survival Evolved, and I used to run private servers for me and people that I know. Survival Ascended is just a whole lot of buggy mess right now. So, I mean, so is Ark Survival Evolved. But I mean, you're on my Steam. You should see what games I have. I have hundreds of hours in Ark, but always with private servers and people I know playing co-op. Never any PvP. Okay, what is the score of this game? God damn it, paying attention. 1-0. Okay, so you guys are gonna have to do better. You haven't looked. Well, I mean, yeah, but you could have before. I mean, asking is easier, right? Yes, Ark Survival Evolved. I have. Let's just look. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a lot. Almost 600 hours. So that one I haven't played as much as some others, but I've played it a bunch. I don't expect a buggy mess. That's the thing. Expecting it is just dismissing it. At least they made it a lot better from when it first released. But this new one is what a cash grab, man. It's like let's put out a new game. Promise that we're going to give it to the people who bought the first game. Completely lie to them in a bald faced way because they did. They're just like, no, actually, you have to buy it, and then it's just like horribly broken and unoptimized. It's like, companies shouldn't be able to get away with this shit. Peterson and whatever. But it is awful. Oh, random new follower. SWFC? Okay. Curious about that. That Sheffield Wednesday? Is that the team you cheer for? I imagine. I'm going to make a guess. It's a SWFC is for Sheffield Wednesday. Tell me if I'm right. And if I'm wrong, tell me which team it actually is. Borset, Gamba, Alfred, and yeah, I'm going to take out Angelo. Well, yeah, this is our away game, and we're up a goal. I hope not to concede, but I can save him for this. The return. No, fuck. I need Angelo controlling the pace of the play. I'll take out Asp Jansen. There. At least I'm saving one of my top players for the next game. All right, good. Let's go. All right. Time wasting. I'm loving how we're dictating this game. I would have liked to have seen more possession, but honestly, our defense is clearly playing reasonably well. Let's not talk him up too much, though, right? A 1-0 win away in the first leg? I'm taking that. That's amazing. Now we're going to play Northland, which is definitely a rotation game for both of them. I have direct control over that. I'll see to it. Because we don't need stressing over that shit. Northland won their European game. Huzzah! That's amazing. That's the first leg of that, I think. Oh, well, you know what? I gotta go to find out. Copenhagen drew with Mitchell. That's not bad. That's 2 legs as well. So, and I played nothing but backups on that one. Yeah, that was definitely the away half of that. So that's really, really encouraging for Northland might get a chance to advance. This is what we need. We need to start winning some rounds in the European competitions in order to get some points for the country. Conference League round of 60. Oh, Carl Bach is injured, suspended. It's what I meant to say. Oh well. I have 2 really annoying chances conceded last night. Keeper threw it. Oh man, I don't even want to read more about that. Did you read the patch notes for the patch today? Some of that stuff is going to look better. Less goalkeeper injuries and less goalkeeper stupidity. So look forward to that. Goalkeepers have been kind of improved all around. So let's celebrate, even rejoice. goalkeeper injuries have been interesting. They are interesting, and they're still in the game. Okay, so like they're not going away, but they're not as stupidly numerous as like there was a time where I'm like, do I have to carry two goalkeepers on my bench just to get through? I literally had two goalkeepers get injured in one match. So they're still in the game. They are because the whole point was to have them be in the game because they haven't been. Really, they haven't. I mean, they've always been in the game, but the chance was so slim you never saw it. Like I said, I literally played every Football Manager version from the start up until last year, and only ever had two incidences where I needed a backup goalkeeper. One, a goalkeeper got red carded, and I've only ever had a goalkeeper get injured once in the tens of thousands of hours I've played Football Manager. Now, of course, they're like, well, that's not realistic. It needs to happen sometimes. Like, yes, it does. So we'll just see how that stacks up. And hopefully it's going to be a lot better now because the amount of goalkeeper injuries has been ridiculous up until this moment. Rotation happened. Someone put. It's sort of like that. Sort of. It's that there's a percentage chance on every play of an injury happening where there's contact, and goalkeepers end up getting more contact than your average player, don't they? Because almost every set piece has players in their grill touching them. You know what I mean? So yeah, increasing it from like 1% to 5% is like a huge increase when you consider the amount of times a goalkeeper has physical contact in the game. So yeah, it was just it was an experiment and it wasn't a very good one. Let's chalk it up to that for now. But if you really dissect it, there was so many better ways to approach that. What you got an image for me? 2-2 home, Derby County. We played rather well and probably deserved to get a better game than that, but I mean they played okay. Their XG was much better. Got more possession, but only by a little. Eh, I mean, I guess you could feel a little hard done by that result, but it's closer than you'd like it to be. I saw the XG. Yeah, indeed. It's not like it was 5 to point 0.6 XG. You know what I mean? Still lost 3-2. I've had those fucking games. So AGF would play Copenhagen if they both advance. And if we both advance, oh no, yeah, that's how it would go. So I can only play one of them in the final. Okay, well the cup is going to be interesting. At least none of us drew each other in that round. It was like, how much should we turn up goalkeeper injuries? Answer: yes. I think something like that. I mean, kind of. It was like we should probably have them in the game because they really haven't been in the game up until now. So yeah, there was a. I remember the discussion though, the whole conversation that was being had about that. I was like, well, there should be more. And of course, everybody kind of agreed with that. But they're like, but this is one of those things where like you don't want to touch that dial because you just don't know how much more it should be. And like I said, it was a matter of let's put in a number that we all agree on and kind of watch, see what happens. And it's like, so we put in, it went from 1 to 5% chance. And you'd think that's not a huge jump. That should be reasonable. And then, of course, well, we got what you saw. You know what you saw. You know what happened. So sadly, it was too much of a jump because every single play that involved contact had that. Yeah, no, the goalkeeper thing was a bit too much. I mean, a bit. It was way too much. Way too many goalkeeper injuries. Everybody knows that. We can all agree on that. Thank goodness it was addressed. So I don't know what it went down to, but I believe the verdict was let's put it at 2%. So it's going to happen more often, like double what it used to, but it's still going to be way less. What injuries to your goalkeeper in 22 and 23? What do you mean? Goalkeepers injuries in 22 and 23? That is extremely unlucky. I guess, I mean, I'm not sure if you heard me say, but like I've been playing tens of thousands of hours in Football Manager and all the versions ever over time, and I've only ever had one goalkeeper injury ever in the entirety of that time. That's horrible luck. Sorry you had that. I had one goalkeeper get injured and I had one goalkeeper get a red card. Those are the only two times I ever needed a goalkeeper on my bench. So I just never used a goalkeeper on my bench ever as Football Manager. I 22 and 23 Kelleher? Yeah, he is. He's absolutely a Premier League quality goalkeeper. What are you talking about? He's probably the best backup goalkeeper in the Premier League. And Liverpool's going to have a really hard time holding on to him in the next few months. If any Premier League team gives him a chance to start, I imagine he'll be leaving. Seems like you're always watching the ball go past him. I guess you haven't watched enough games. I mean, maybe you're watching some of the cup games where they put like the youth team in front of him and he still does fucking amazing. Like he lets in a few, but he still saves a few. It's hard to know. Allison got injured, Kelleher got injured, then the subbed Adrian on and he got injured. What? Dude. He didn't look good at all in France. Uh how far back do you gotta go? Find him there. When did he play in France? Oh, sorry. I thought you said he played in France. Oh, okay. No, the team he played against. Gotcha. Sorry. Yeah. All right. I mean, are you really going to blame him for that game, though? Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about now. Sorry. It took me a second to catch up. I'm caught up. I'm caught up now to the conversation. My bad. But I don't think you'd blame him. Blame him along with Matip. I mean, all right. Fair enough. Wasn't a good game, that's for sure. No denying that. You are absolutely 100% correct if you say they played very poorly collectively, but I don't know if I'd blame Keller. I really don't think I would. It's hard to put a game like that on any individual. Okay, so this is, like I said, this will be a backups game. That is the to do. Marchland. Marchland, yes. So I'm going to team two. Same thing. They are good. United got very lucky against Luton. Damn right they did. Doesn't matter. The only game that really mattered this weekend was Chelsea and City. Holy crap, that was fun. How much fun was that game? I mean, even Pep said it. He's like, "Were you entertained?" He wasn't mad. He was just like, "It was entertaining, right?" It was a goal fest. It was freaking awesome. I wish there was more games like that. I do. That was fantastic to see. And so Mitchland, then Brondby, and then Leon. Oh my God, these guys have so many games crammed in here. What am I supposed to do, you guys? Okay, wait. Is this the cup again? Oh yeah. This is another cup. Raid. Raid. I haven't had one of those in a very long time. Let's see what George was playing. Oh, I forgot to put in the part that mattered. The shout out part. Football Manager. Well, of course he was. I mean, I wouldn't have expected less. Pretty much exactly what you'd think. I don't think the Premier League winner is going to do a 90 points. Yeah, you might be right. It's not looking like anybody's going to be as dominant as the past few seasons, but you never know, right? Like City looked out of it and then they just went on a huge run. They're capable of doing that at any time. Let's face it, they can just do that when they feel like it. almost exclusively. They'll just be like, "Yeah, we feel like being the best team now," and then they just go do it. And what are you supposed to do? You just watch them do it, right? Okay. Oh, right. I decided this is going to be a backups game again because they're playing stinking cup. Ugh, dumb cup games piss me off. Thank you. Hope you have an amazing. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Should be changing to my other save when Jacob gets here. I'll have more people, so it'll be fun. They are, man. Machine City, yeah, pretty much. So I think City, Arsenal, or Liverpool could legitimately win it. I mean, let's be honest, Jacob. It's like there's more than three teams in the race. There really is. Don't count out Tottenham yet. Don't do that. That's dangerous. Don't count them out. Make you look silly. Sevilla, 3 days. Let's look it over. It's going to have to be some rotation here. There's no choice in the matter. Are they playing? Vale home eighth? Yeah, okay. Fuck it. Let's just play the B team. This team is good enough to get points at home against the eighth place team, I think. So let's hope. Arsenal have been average this season. I mean, everybody's been sort of average at several points of the season. Nobody looks like that expectedly dominant side right now. It could go any which way. It could be whoever gets on a super hot streak at some point. That's what it's going to take. To just not drop points, but points are being dropped, so it's tough to know what will happen. If you can get the ball off them, their defense hasn't. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what Chelsea exposed is how you can play against City, right? Like they showed it. There was not much defense being played on either side. Spurs have been, but yeah, they have got unlucky against Wolves. True. I mean, there's not a lot you can do. Spurs have been decent though. They're better than they. It's funny how they get better as soon as they don't have Kane. They play like a team now. And they get, I mean, give a lot of credit to their new manager too. Everybody's like, "Who the hell is this guy?" I was among them, and now I'm watching his system. I'm like, "Oh, this guy's pretty smart. Actually, he's got a really good mind for the game." So I mean, I'm glad he's managing a Premier League team now because we'll get to see him for a while. We hope. They go top, celebrate like they've won it, and ship for to Chelsea. uh, I know Drop Bear. You were one of the people who said that he was a good manager. Like you were one of the few people who knew who he was because, well, he comes from your country, right? So you had that insider knowledge on us, man. You were holding out. Just kidding. You totally told me he was going to be good. I didn't know. I was like, I don't know. I don't know anything about him. Nobody had ever heard of him. I don't even think half the people at Tottenham had ever heard of them before they hired him. It must have been like one person came along and be like, let's just go way outside the box. This guy. You're an Anche fan? Fair. Fair enough. I mean, the more I've been watching Tottenham football, the more I'm just like, this guy's smart. He knows what he's doing. Got a good system, and I think that if he ever gets better players, let's face it, it's Tottenham. They're not going to spend a lot of money, but if he ever gets some better players in some of his positions to play his system, they could be a really really good team. Same situation when he went to Celtic. hmm But Spurs, I have nothing but ill wishes for. I mean, obviously, we don't want Spurs to win, but you want to see entertaining games. You want the big teams to kind of put on the show for you. I'm fine with Tottenham never winning anything, but I mean, as soon as you see a decent manager come through and start doing something that kind of perks your ears up, you're like, oh, look at this. I don't mind that. As a fan of the game, I enjoy that. But you're right. Team wise, fuck them. You thought Monday was entertaining? And it was. I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. Overall, though, I think he's a good manager so far. And going from an unknown entity for most of us, Drop Bear excluded, I think he's done a tremendous job. All right, the score here is 2-0. So don't let your performance levels drop. They agree. I love when they agree with me. They usually do. Almost never disagree. And when they do, they're wrong. Zumetra's having a good game. Look at this kid. A hat trick for like one of the youngest players on my teams. playing midfield. I love it when prospects light shit up. Like, I don't think he can be more than like 115 or so overall so far, but he's just having himself a good game here. And Pedersen, yeah, Yannick Pedersen, woohoo! Like, this game's going well. We're getting some revenge on Nordsland. They beat us the last time we played them, so you know. I mean, I sort of, kind of hope AGF drop points in their game, but also I kind of, sort of don't want them to. I want kicking distance at first place again. I can't believe that I'm not winning first place right now. But I focused too much of my energy on the Champions League, and it paid off. I mean, going a perfect 8-0 in the league phase, definitely awesome. But this is a game of backups versus backups, and I know my backups are better. I have complete confidence in my backups. How's Denmark? Denmark's going great. Ended up doing what I said I was going to do. We got a fourth team in there. Took over a fourth team because Copenhagen was having a nightmare season. Like they went from finishing third to struggling for like eighth. And we talked about it. I said, well, if we really want to make the goal of moving Denmark into the top five, we're going to have to probably have more than three teams. I know we needed more than two. But realistically, we were going to need more than three. So yeah, grabbed a third team. We're like, well, they fired their manager. The manager was already fired, so it was wide open. I'm like, yeah, let's just slide another one in there. So I've got way too much to do, but I think within a season or two, I can meet the objective of this save and then start a new one with one team, so I can get points on the leaderboard again. Because honestly, and I know most people don't care about that shit, but for me, the only thing I miss right now the most about playing this save is that I'm getting 0 points on the goddamn leaderboard. So most of my friends on my friends list are ahead of me on the leaderboard, and I just can't have that. That's so unimportant, right? Uh, never had what? What have you never had? Points on the leaderboard? That's because you use edited stuff. You're above me on the leaderboard. Are you really? Even you're ahead of me? Oh man, that just shows I'm spending entirely too much time on this save. Are you sure you're ahead of me, Drop Bear? I mean, I believe you. That doesn't sound like something you would make up. You got an image for me, do you? Yeah, I love that you do this. You make this so simple on me. Oh, bro, you are ahead. Look really far ahead, too. Is that all I have is 472? It's because the only save I'm playing is one on my own with Accrington, and I'm not going to score a ton of points with them until I get them into the Premier League, right? All right, Jacob's getting set up. So after this set of games, I can save this. And guess what, guys? We're going to have Jacob again. Woo! I better go jump into my voice chat, actually. Ah, there's that sound, that crisp, clean sound we like. My God, we're slaughtering these guys. This is worse than I expected to do to them. I thought maybe we'd get a tidy win, but I didn't think we were going to murder them in biblical proportions. Yikes! Sorry, guys. Hope that doesn't crush their morale. My two saves have been one season at Liverpool. Yeah, I understand. 4 seasons at Braintree. I don't know why you got so many more points than me. I really don't. But whatever. Probably just played more in general. So there's that. AGF got a draw, so I am now only 5 points behind them. Ha ha! But realistically, we're still got the top three up. Although Bromley has a game in hand, and they're only 7 points off. Not ideal, so we'll have to get back to our winning ways between all three teams. Symmetra with a friggin' how amazing is this guy? We have 3 days before our next game. So I'm going to rest all of these guys, even though they're probably not going to play in it for 2 days. Do a quick save so we don't lose any of those results. I haven't been playing enough. That's all there is to it. And that's fine. Northland. Copenhagen got smashed. They went into that after a 2-2 draw, and yeah, now they're out of the cup. That's fine, because I'd really like them to focus on the league anyway. They play Zurich in 3 days. I'm just going to see. Rest you. Training, rest, all those things. No point in resting guys that are unregistered. Training, rest, 2 days. 1 day for these guys. Yeah. Slide team. Right, back is suspended for this one. Not happy about that, you guys. Not happy at all. Wait, Henrik Johansson is also on team 2 in the. Oh, oh, I've messed this up. I've messed this up huge. I'm gonna have to update that right now. Unforgivable. I was unaware I was playing a player both in Team 1 and Team 2. So Johansson's gonna have a heavy match load probably. Yeah. No, that's not what I wanted. It's super, super awful. Okay, then these guys have 1 day till they play another game. One day they play another game. Training, rest. I mean, I'll give them their 1 day of rest in between, but I'm pretty sure all these guys are going to be too gassed to play in that next game. This one's a league game, so this is the one we prioritize. So let's get the starting 11 up there. Jacob and yourself continue 23 safe. We did, and he's going to be here in a few minutes. And we're going to continue it right now in front of you. Aha, yay. I'm just looking at wrapping up this 1, 2, 3 days, resting up these players. I'm coming back to this on Wednesday because he has to work on Wednesday. Boo, but I'll be here doing this one. Trying to get Denmark into the top 5. Running 4 teams in one save by myself. It's overwhelming, I'm not going to lie. Plan to use mostly unedited databases this FM. Yeah. I like edited databases. They're a lot of fun, but I just can't. I can't do it anymore because I want to score points on the leaderboard. It matters to me, and I know that that's silly. And most people think, well, why does it matter? I'm like, I don't know. It just does because it feels greasy otherwise to me. You know what I mean? All right. So here is our other game. I don't know how I actually chop a stream from here. Give me 1 sec, guys. Don't go anywhere.